Hi everyone. Hope you have studied the primary batteries, secondary batteries and the fuel cells. Hope you know the anode, cathode, electrolyte, anodic reaction as well as the cathodic reaction. Now there is only two topics left in this electrochemistry, that is, one is the corrosion, there is the application of again the oxidation, and then the product of hydrolysis. So there comes the end of this chapter. So today you will see about corrosion. You know, from small classes itself we are studying about corrosion, isn't it? We will say the rust of iron or the rust of copper or the tarnishing of silver, all are the examples of corrosion. Or actually corrosion means what? It is an oxidation process. In fact, we will today see about the corrosion of iron in detail. How the corrosion of iron happens. It is an electrochemical reaction happening in the rusting of iron. Now in smaller classes, we define corrosion as when metals are attacked by water or air or even acid, dilute acid, the metal tend to corrode and the phenomenon is called as corrosion. That is what we studied in smaller classes. And you have also studied the rust of iron is nothing but hydrated ferric oxide, isn't it? And then we have studied corrosion is the harmful as well as harmless. How? Harmful in the sense the damaging of iron or other metals, which leads to a loss of a large amount of money, isn't it? Enormous amount of money is lost in every year for this iron, the corrosion of iron, isn't it? The ships, the buildings, etc. Now how we say the corrosion is harmless, that you have seen in anodizing, isn't it? When the moderately reactive metals like aluminium, magnesium or zinc, when it is exposed to air, it will have a protective covering of its own. That is, the oxide covering is that protective covering. There we say the corrosion is harmless. Now corrosion is harmful in the case of metals like, the corrosion of metals like iron or silver or copper, etc. Okay, so that is corrosion. Now we will see in detail about the corrosion. You know, we will say the corrosion of iron, or you can say the rusting of iron. The rusting of iron is what? It is hydrated ferric oxide, that is Fe2O3.XH2O. That is the rusting of iron, isn't it? Now what is the tarnishing of silver? This also you have studied. Tarnishing of silver. What is that silver rust called? That is Ag2S, silver sulfide. That is from the atmosphere, the sulfur, it reacts with sulfur and forms the blackish silver sulfide. And you also heard about the copper rust, isn't it? The green color of the copper, isn't it? Now what is the rust of copper then? It is a mixture of copper hydroxide and copper carbonate. Hope you are remembering all this which is studied in the 10th standard. Okay. Now we will see in detail about the corrosion of iron, which we called as the rusting of iron. Okay. I already said the rusting of iron, it is an oxidation process. Okay. Now what we want to study here is about the anode, the anodic reaction, the cathodic reaction as well as the overall reaction. Now how rusting is happen in iron. Okay. Now for example, in iron what happens? In iron, the anode, you just study only this anodic reaction, cathodic and the overall reaction. In anode what happens in iron? Iron will get oxidized because anodic oxidation. In anode oxidation happens. So anode Fe will give you Fe2++, 2 electrons. But for our reaction to happen, you are taking 2 Fe, giving 2 Fe2++, 4 electron. Because Fe giving Fe2++, 2 electron. So 2 Fe giving 2 Fe2++, 4 electron. So this is the reaction which happens at the anode. Correct. Now in anode the electron is releasing. That is, the loss of electrons is there in the anode. Now what happens? Now these electrons, for example, if we have an iron substance here, now it is exposed to air, then what happens? If we have a spot, if I say this spot is the anodic spot. Anodic spot means the reaction happens, or the reaction where this is the anode where the reaction happens. Okay. Now if this is the reaction, I can say this iron, the 2 electrons are liberating there, converting it into Fe2 plus. See, the 2 electrons are released here, then the Fe is being converted to the Fe2 plus. Okay. Now what will happen at the cathode? In the cathode, these electrons will go and it will reduce the oxygen, because cathode, what happens? Reduction happens in the cathode. So in the cathode, this electrons will go and reduce the oxygen to form what? Water. Okay, clear? So I will write the cathode reaction as, see, the electrons are going, that is 4 electrons, no? So again one more electrons are, then 2 electrons are released, then the 2 plus 2 electrons, that is the 4 electrons are liberated. Then it will go and reduce the oxygen in presence of an acidic medium or H plus. Okay, that is, you know, oxygen. Oxygen is being reduced. Cathode means reduction. Reduction happens at cathode. So oxygen is reduced by means of these electrons in presence of H plus or acidic medium. How you will get H plus? H plus is from the water. I mean the water or the acids, the carbonic acid, the carbon dioxide reacts with this water to form H2CO3. And from this H2CO3, you can liberate H plus. Either from water or from the acid liberated from this carbonic acid. So you can write the reaction as O2 plus, the electrons are there. No, it is reduction. So gaining of electrons with in presence of what? In presence of H plus to form 2H2O. Water is formed. So this is very simple. See, this is the anodic oxidation, that is Fe giving Fe2 plus 2 electrons, or 2 Fe giving 2 Fe2 plus 4 electrons. Correct? Now, what about in the cathode reduction? Cathode reduction, the electrons will reduce the oxygen in presence of an acid medium or in presence of hydrogen ion. Okay, so in oxygen, it will gain the electron in acidic medium to form the water. You got it? Okay. Now how will you write the overall reaction? The overall reaction is, you have to cancel out what? That's 4 electron and 4 electron. Anything else to cancel? No. So the overall reaction is 2Fe plus O2 plus 4H plus will give you 2Fe2 plus 2H2O. See, it's very simple. This is by adding these two equations, you will get what? This 4 electrons and 4 electrons gets cancelled, and then you will get the overall reaction as 2Fe plus O2 plus 4H plus will give you 2Fe2 plus 2H2O. So this is the overall reaction. Clear? Now what happens? You got this Fe2 plus, right? Now what happens? This Fe2 plus, that is the ferric 2 plus, will oxidized to form the ferric ions. That is, this Fe2 plus will react with the atmospheric oxygen to form what? The corresponding oxide. Okay. Now, if I want to write that equation, that is this atmospheric oxidation. Atmospheric oxidation, how I will write? I have 2 Fe2 plus, right? I have 2 Fe2 plus. Now what will I do? This 2 Fe2 plus, correct? This 2 Fe2 plus water is there. This is there. 2 Fe2 plus 2 H2O. This will react with the atmospheric oxygen, that is half O2. Listen. You got this, correct? The overall reaction, you got it as 2 Fe giving 2 Fe2 plus 2 electrons. This is ferrous. Now what happens? This ferrous along with the water will react with the atmospheric oxygen. That is why I wrote it as atmospheric oxidation. After forming this ferrous ion, it will have the atmospheric oxidation to form the ferric oxide. That is, the ferrous is being oxidized to ferric. Okay, so Fe2 plus water plus half O2 will give you, what is it? Fe2O3 plus 2H2. See? So this is the reaction. So this is how you will get the rust, that is Fe2O3 dot XH2O. X can be an integer. If it is 1 molecule of water, it is XH2O. If it is 2 molecule of water, it is 2H2O. If it is 3, that is why in general you will write what? Fe2O3 dot XH2O. So this is all about what? The corrosion of iron or the rusting of iron. It is simple, no? This is only you have to study about the anode, the cathode, the overall reaction, then the atmospheric oxidation. In this atmospheric oxidation, the ferrous is being converted into the ferric. Okay, so in your textbook, the E0 cell, that is a standard potential, is also given. You need not study that because there is no point in, in the examination, they won't ask the E0. They will give you the E0 value if problem comes. So nothing to worry about in that case. So this much you have to study: the anode, the cathode, the overall reaction, as well as the atmospheric oxidation. Clear? So this is about the corrosion. Now what you will see is how to prevent the corrosion. You have studied this also in smaller classes. How you prevent corrosion? There are so many steps for preventing the corrosion. The simplest step is what? The simplest step is painting, isn't it? Or oiling, or greasing, or anodizing. Then galvanization. We have studied, isn't it? The protective covering of zinc over the iron, that is galvanization. Then chrome plating, that is nickel chromium, that is also prevention for corrosion. Then alloy, isn't it? So all these are the methods to prevent what? To prevent the corrosion. Alloying, you know. What is alloying? Alloying means how you prepare an alloy. You have to mix a metal or a non-metal in the desired quantity. You take a metal, then you add a non-metal in the desired amount, then you mix it at the normal temperature, then you will get, cool it, then you will get alloy. So these are the methods by which you can prevent this corrosion. So is it clear? So this much is about the corrosion. Okay. Now we will see what are the product of electrolysis of NaCl. Now we know what are the product of electrolysis of molten NaCl, Na plus and Cl minus. Now we will see what happens in the product of electrolysis of aqueous NaCl. Okay, what do you mean by aqueous? Aqueous means in presence of water, isn't it? So I can write NaCl in presence of water, it will liberate Na plus and Cl minus. This you know, correct? Now along with this Na plus and Cl minus, you can also have H plus ions and OH minus ions from water. See? So instead of Na plus and Cl minus, in the case of aqueous NaCl, we will get H plus as well as OH minus along with Na plus and Cl minus. And not only that, along with these 4 ions, we will have the water or the solvent molecules as such. So these are the ions present in the aqueous NaCl. Clear? So what are they? They are Na plus, Cl minus, H plus, OH minus, and also the solvent molecule, that is water. Okay. Now we will see one by one what happens at cathode and what happens at anode. Okay. Now in the case of cathode, you see, we know cathodic reduction happens, isn't it? Cathodic reduction happens. Cathode means what? Cathode means minus charge in electrolytic cell. Correct? Now, here Na plus, which ions will go to minus charge? That is here Na plus as well as H plus. In molten there is only one ion, that is Na plus. But what happens in aqueous? Aqueous, Na plus as well as H plus. So there is a competition between what? Na plus as well as the H plus ions, which will go faster and get deposited at the cathode. Na plus can go and deposit at cathode. Even the H plus ions can go and deposit at cathode. So if there is a competition, which is the criteria behind that, which will go faster? So that depends on the E0 of the cell. That is standard electrode potential. So by knowing the value of E0, we can say this ion will go faster or that ion will go faster. Okay. Now coming to the reaction, we will say this is reduction. So first what happens? Na plus electrons will give you Na. Correct? Reduction. And the value of E0 equals, E0 set of Na equals minus 2.71 volt. Okay. In question paper, you will be given the E0 values. So don't worry about that. Okay. Now, then again, who will come to the cathode? The H plus is waiting. No. So it will also come to the cathode. So H plus. Again it will accept one electron to form half H2. Because only H plus is there. If it was 2H, you can say H2. But only H plus, you can say half H2. Okay. Now here the E0 value is standard electrode potential, you know, 0.0 volt. Okay. Now an important thing is, here reduction is happening. Okay. Now there are two reduction potentials there, standard reduction potential of sodium as well as hydrogen. Now competition between these two, who will get deposited first at the cathode? That is decided by the E0 value. Now a higher value of E0, because since it is a reduction potential. So since it is a reduction, higher the value of E0, that ion will get deposited at the cathode first. Or at first position, the hydrogen will go and deposit at the cathode rather than the sodium. Why? Because the E0 value, that is mainly depends upon the reduction. Reduction potential means what? The ability to easily reduce. That is higher the value. So higher the value of E0, that ion will get reduced first. So here, which is having a higher value? 0. That is hydrogen. So hydrogen will get reduced at the cathode. So there is no role in Na plus in this cathodic reduction. Listen very carefully. You are not taking that sodium ion, you are taking only H plus ion in the cathodic reduction, because you can only take one, isn't it? So here, why? Because of the criteria of the E0. Higher the value of E0, it will deposit faster. Okay, so in the cathode, the H plus is getting reduced. Now again, in this cathode, one more thing is happening. That is, as I already mentioned, there is water solvent molecule. Now what happens is there, in cathode, the water molecule will get dissociated into H plus as well as OH minus. See, this H2O will dissociate to form the H plus as well as the OH minus ion. So in fact, three reactions are taking place at cathode. Remember, first is Na plus reduction, second is H plus reduction, third is the dissociation of the solvent molecule water. Now we discarded the Na plus. Why? Because the value of E0 of H plus is higher. So the reduction potential being higher, the hydrogen reduction takes place more quickly than the Na plus. So this is not in our picture. Only H plus ion. Now what happens here? The water, the solvent water molecules get dissociated. There is chance of dissociation of H plus as well as the OH minus ions. So now in cathode, these two reactions are important. See, these two reactions are taking place. Now we will have an overall reaction of cathode alone. That is, these two reactions on adding, what we will get? You will get in the cathode H2O, okay, H2O plus an electron. This H plus and H plus you can cancel, correct? Because you are writing the overall reaction. So H2O plus electron will give you half H2 plus OH minus. See? Got it? This is the cathodic reduction reaction in the case of aqueous NaCl. Okay, so the cathodic reaction is this. That is the cathode H2O plus electrons will give you half H2 plus OH minus. Clear? Is it clear? Okay. So there is a competition between Na plus and H plus. Now who wins? H plus wins. Why? Because of the standard electrode potential. Greater the standard electrode potential, so it will reduce fast. Now along with it, very important, the solvent water molecules will also get dissociated into H plus and OH minus. So adding these two, you will get the cathodic reaction as H2O plus electrons will give you half H2 plus OH minus. Clear? Now we will pass on to the anodic reaction where oxidation takes place. Okay, shall I rub this? Okay. Now what happens? Now what happens is, just I will write the cathodic reaction here, just for the, that is cathode, what you got? You got H2O plus electron, electrons it gets cancelled. No? So cathode is H2O plus electron will give you, yes, half H2 plus OH minus. So this is the cathodic reaction. Now you will see what happens in the anode. Anode means what? Anode means plus. Anodic oxidation happens. Now, which all ions are coming to the plus or anode? There are Cl minus, OH minus as well as the water molecules. Okay. Now here what happens is the Cl minus will come. That is the Cl minus, anode means oxidation, that is losing electron, will give you half Cl2 plus electron, which is having an E0 value of 1.36 volt. See, in anode, the Cl minus will lose electron to form half Cl2, because if it is 2 Cl, we can have Cl2. So it is 1 Cl, if it is half Cl2 plus 1 electron, only 1 electron is removing. So E0 cell is 1.36 volt. Now what happens is, here, listen very, very carefully, this water will act in the anode. How? I will write the equation and then I will say, that is 2H2O will give you, the water will give you O2 plus 4H plus plus 4 electron, and the E0 value is equal to 1.323 volt. So these are the two reactions taking place at anode. One is the chloride ion liberating electron as well as the water which will liberate 4 electrons. So these are the two anodic reactions. Now the question is, which will come and deposit at anode? Is the chloride ion will go, or it will be the oxygen or this water, or the OH minus ion from this H plus and OH minus. From these two equations, which will go and deposit faster at the anode. Now, since this is an oxidation, lower the value of reduction potential, oxidation is maximum. So here, what is the lower value of E0? That is this. That is 2H2O giving O2 plus 4H plus plus 4 electron. So, actually or theoretically speaking, this reaction should happen in the anode. Clear? Two reaction happens, then lower the value of E0, oxidation is easier. In reduction, what happens? Higher the value of E0, reduction happens faster. Oxidation, the reverse. That is, the lower the value of E0, the oxidation happens. So, theoretically speaking, this reaction has to happen at the anode. But here there is one problem in this. There is the formation of oxygen from this water is very, very difficult. We call a term in electrochemistry which is called as overpotential. Now what is this overpotential? You know, some reactions, although the reaction is feasible, what is feasible? Okay, kinetically the reaction takes place, the reactants is converted to product, but that reaction is very, very slow. So, thermodynamically I can say, even though this reaction is feasible, that means, okay, oxygen is formed in this reaction, but the reaction is very, very slow. So, in that case, we have to give some extra potential. So, that is called as over potential. Okay, so in order to happen this equation, the reaction, in order to happen this reaction, or in order to reaction to happen, you have to give some potential, additional potential to this reaction to take place. So in that case, where over potential of this reaction happens, time lag will be there. So what happens? This chloride minus ion will go faster than this reaction and deposit on the anode. You got the point? Theoretically speaking, this has to happen because it is having a lower E0 value. But due to the over potential of this oxygen, because the reaction happens only very, very slow. So you have to give additional potential to it. So by that time, who will go and deposit at the anode? The chloride ion will go and deposit at the anode. So what is the reaction happening at the anode? This reaction happens at the anode. Hope you are clear with this. Okay, don't get confused. Okay, this has to happen, but it is not happening due to the over potential of this oxygen. Okay, so this is there. Clear? So cathode, this reaction happened because the E0 value of this hydrogen is higher. Anode, this has to happen, but it doesn't happen. Why? Because of the over potential of oxygen. Now you got the anodic reaction as well as the cathodic reaction. Okay. Now we will write the overall reaction. So this I will rub it because there is no need of this. So you see what all reactions? The reaction at cathode, that is H2O plus electron, will give you half H2 plus OH minus. Anode, Cl minus plus half Cl2 plus electron. And also, as you know, NaCl on aqueous, that is in water, you will get Na plus and Cl minus. So these three reactions you have to sum up. Okay. So these three reactions you sum it and then you will get the overall reaction of the product of electrolysis of aqueous NaCl. So there are three reactions and you sum it up. What you will get? You will get electrons and electron get cancelled. Then half hydrogen, okay, chlorine, then NaCl minus. Okay, Cl minus and Cl minus get cancelled. Okay. Now we will write the overall reaction. Okay, the overall reaction is NaCl, okay, then left hand side there is only water, correct? H2O gives half H2, correct, plus half Cl2, correct, plus Na plus OH minus. See, this is the overall reaction for the product of electrolysis of aqueous NaCl. Do you remember this equation which you studied in 10th standard? Have you heard about the chlor-alkali process in order to the formation of NaOH? You are remembering? You studied when brine solution is electrolyzed, you will get hydrogen, chlorine gas as well as NaOH. And this is named as chlor-alkali process. In fact, this is the product. So, on aqueous NaCl, that is electrolysis, that is electricity is being passed. That is, this is brine water which you have studied. So, brine water on electrolysis, you will get hydrogen, chlorine and NaOH. So, it is very, very important. So, please go through it. What are the product of electrolysis of molten NaCl as well as the product of electrolysis of aqueous NaCl. Okay, molten NaCl means only Na plus and Cl minus. Aqueous NaCl means what are the products? Hydrogen, it is at cathode, chlorine at anode and a solution of NaOH is there. So this is the product of electrolysis of aqueous NaCl. Okay. Now a small thing which in your textbook it is given, that's why I am telling, and once it is asked in board exam 4 or 5 years back, that is in the product of electrolysis of dilute sulfuric acid, just only one point they have mentioned. Okay, not all the reactions, only the anodic reactions they have mentioned. There is a change in that anodic reaction. Okay, in that, in the electrolysis of dilute H2SO4, only anode they have given, so only study that. Okay, so in the electrolysis of dilute H2SO4 in the anode reaction, like this, dilute means aqueous, no? So two reactions happens at the anode. One is, like what we said, H2O will give you O2 plus 4 electron plus 4H plus. Okay, so H2O gives O2 plus 4H plus 4 electron, correct? Okay, 4 means 2H2O, correct? 2 plus 4, okay. So this is the anodic reaction. Now there is one more reaction at anode because of the sulfuric acid, the sulfate ion, that is SO4 2 minus will give you 2, that is S2, 4 into 2, 8, S2O8 2 minus. Okay, so SO4 2 minus will give you S2OA 2 minus plus 2 electron. So these two reactions happens at the anode. Now the question was, if dilute sulfuric acid is added, what is the reaction at anode? So when dilute sulfuric acid is added, you will get the first reaction. And if concentrated sulfuric acid is added, you will get the second reaction at the anode. That's all. Okay, only this much you are given the textbook. Not all the cathodic reaction they haven't said. Only what happens when dilute sulfuric acid is used and what happens when concentrated sulfuric acid is used. What's the reaction taking place at anode? That's all. So dilute sulfuric acid, water with oxygen and electron. Then concentrated, the sulfate ion will go into S2O8. So that's all about the product of electrolysis topic. So it's very simple. So go through the textbook, read thoroughly. Any doubt in this overpotential, what is overpotential, please clarify it with me. Then make the notes, prepare well. Till then, thank you.